Redstone with Dave.
And I am Baker. I am the guy who currently has a sideways happy face on his head, or face. And this is a series where we're going to be teaching about Redstone. And I'll be teaching Dave, and you guys can learn along with me. So this episode, we're going to be learning about redstone dust, redstone repeaters, redstone torches, and hey, Dave.
Yeah.
And strong and weak power.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're going to start over here. And also, something I'd like to add is that this is really cool because if you ever want to come see what we're doing, you can join our server, and we'll put that down in the description. So, Dave,
right. So this is
how much do you know about redstone?
I know nothing. I come from a humble PlayStation 4 background, so I was pretty limited. So Redstone, we had that, but creating things with it, I think all I made was like a powered rail.
All right. Well, I assume you can figure out if you wanted to power this lamp, you can wire it up like that, right?
Yeah, that much I can do.
That turns the lamp on, and that turns the lamp off. So we're using the redstone dust as wire. So we are wiring this lever up to this redstone lamp by connecting them with redstone dust.
That makes sense.
All right. So redstone dust can also travel up and down blocks. So here, this lever is on top of this block. So when you flick this, you're powering the block. So you can put some redstone dust under it and then have it climb up like stairs because it can climb up. So you're just wiring it up on top of each stair and it connects. And it goes all the way up to here. And you can see when I do that, it powers down there through the glass. Well, not through the glass. And it goes up here and it powers this lamp.
So it just needs to be like within a block underneath the lever there to...
Yeah, wherever you're powering it.
Right.
So we'll go over some strong and weak power, which is sort of a really awesome core concept of how redstone works and how you can use it to even make signals go through blocks, and why sometimes you'll be frustrated when your redstone machinery won't work. So next, it's going to be repeaters. So this is a repeater, and it adds delay to the signal. So if you want to connect this redstone lamp up with 5 repeaters. So you're going to place down repeaters in a row so that they connect to this lamp.
All right. So repeaters. Where am I going to
I just threw you one.
Oh, you just gave me one? That was nice.
I did. You're welcome.
Let's see here. It must be in my inventory. All right. Still figuring out the ins and outs of the Mac version. Okay, let's see.
PC, Mac, yeah.
Yeah, PC, Mac, same thing, right? Okay, redstone repeater. Got it. And now, there's glass back in my inventory. Not going to need that right now. Okay, so we're going to do redstone repeaters.
Yep.
So is this the same concept of wiring it with the redstone?
It is. Okay. So imagine that those repeaters are like wire, and they can connect to this lamp.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So you got these two right. So one of the things is that repeaters actually have a direction.
Oh yeah.
So
these
they
are
have
going all
an
over the place.
input and an output. So in this case, a repeater facing this way now is taking an input from the lever because it's facing this way. And you can always tell where it's facing by where this front torch is. So that there's that little gap where there's no red. And then you can tell that it's sort of pointing in this direction.
So
so it's taking an input from this side.
So it's basically just whichever way you're facing?
Yes, that's how you place it.
Okay.
So if I were to do it like this, it's not going to work.
Right.
Because this is like, okay, so I'm going to check to see if I get an input. So I'm going to look over here. Do I ever get an input from this block? It does not.
No.
But as soon as we swap, it does power because it says, okay, is there an input over here? Hey, yes, this is an input. I can power. So then we'll chain this up. So now there's 5 of those. And each one of these repeaters delays the signal by 1 tick. And there are 20 ticks in every second in Minecraft. So this currently delays it by 1/4 of a second because there are 5 ticks, and 5 over 20 can be reduced to 1 over 4. So that is currently a 1/4 second delay. So you can see it's slowly charging up and slowly charging back down.
All right.
And then we can increase the delay by right-clicking on these repeaters. Yep.
Ah, yeah. Look at that.
So when they're the furthest back, that's the most delay you can possibly have.
Oh, no, I destroyed the switch.
Okay, I'll grab a new one.
Wait, is this?
There we go.
Okay, there we go. So right-click that.
So now, notice how much longer it takes? So in order for that lamp to turn on, it's actually 1 full second of delay, because the default for a repeater is 1 tick of delay. You right-click it once, that's 2 ticks of delay. So it's 1 spot back from where it normally is. Right-click it again, it's now 2 spots back from where it normally is. So 1, 2. So this is 3 ticks of delay, because there's that original one, and then there's that one, the second one, and here's the third. So this is 3 ticks of delay, and then the final one is 4 ticks of delay. So there's 4 different slots in here, and each one increases the delay as it goes back.
Okay.
So this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, and this is 4, and that adds up to 20. So there's 20 ticks, which means that this lamp takes exactly 1 second after you turn this lever on to turn on.
Are there any limits? Can you just stack repeaters forever if you wanted to? Like, could we just go all the way back there, like, theoretically?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Because repeaters will actually repeat the signal. So one of the best uses of repeaters is that redstone, you can actually run out of length for redstone. Mm-hmm. So let's say I wanted to go all the way around here.
Well, now the repeaters have redstone built in too, right?
They do.
Okay.
So notice how this lamp doesn't turn on, right? So if you look at this, it's the redstone slowly gets dimmer, and it has these little powdery puffs above it here, but not here. This one doesn't have those powdery puffs because the redstone ran out of power. Mm-hmm. However, repeaters reset that power. So if I place a repeater here, you notice it gets really, really bright again, and now it can reach the lamp.
Right, okay, so it basically takes the signal and amplifies it.
So amplifying it, though, also has the cost of adding a delay, which is actually really similar to real electronics.
Right.
So let's wire this up with a full second of delay again. So actually, Dave, you can do that. Okay. So wire up the lamp with a full second of delay. All right. Awesome. Perfect. So now, wire it up with half a second of delay.
All right, half a second. All right, so we're going to do...
So you want 10 ticks of delay.
Okay, so 1, 2, 2.
Oh, careful.
Is that too many? Oh, wait, yeah,
because
so it's already at 1, so, right.
And that's 2. So, yeah, there you go.
Right, okay. There we go.
And then the other way that you could do this is you could just have dust here and put these to full. So 4, 4, 2 is equal to 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
That looked prettier too.
So both of those are half second. This does look a little nicer, but sometimes you can't afford that many repeaters in survival. So now we're going to go on to strong and weak power. So redstone has sort of an interesting thing that allows it to power the blocks around it, because without that you wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. It's like how repeaters can strongly power blocks around them. So when I flick this lever, check and see which lights are on.
All right, so it looks like one on the top, the one right beneath it, and then this one right here next to the last.
And so then I'm going to change something. So this is glass. So it's a transparent block. You can see through it. It's not solid. Light goes through it.
Right.
And that means that it can also not be powered by redstone. So if you notice, if I change this block from glass to quartz, this lamp on the end gets powered.
Ah, because it travels through the quartz.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but glass isn't solid or sort of like rocky enough to really hold that power, because glass is just sort of like flimsy and you can't power anything with it.
Okay, so then how many quartz blocks would you be able to stack in a row here before the light wouldn't be powered?
That's an awesome question. So let's increase it by 1. And it doesn't work. And something you can also do is put a redstone block on top of that. So right now, this block is being strongly powered by this redstone dust. So see how this redstone dust points into it, right? And it's being strongly powered.
Gotcha.
But if we wire it a little off to the side and put the redstone lamp here again, it no longer powers it because it's not pointed towards it anymore.
Oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that the redstone dust is pointed towards where you want it to go. So now it's pointed towards it and it powers it again. So another thing is that a slab is not a whole block. So see how you can see through it from the side here, right?
Yeah.
So that means that the redstone can't power it. So because the redstone can't power that block, it can't power the lamp underneath it because there's no powered block there. But if we replace it again with a quartz block, the block under it is now powered because that quartz block can be strongly powered. And something important to note is that this will work with any solid block. So I could also put sandstone here. You could put glass here. No, you could not put glass, sorry. You could put sandstone here, but you could also put something like grass. You could put a diamond block there. There's all sorts of things that you could put there. There's lots of solid blocks in Minecraft. But you can't put glass because you actually can't place redstone on glass, and we'll get to that later. And so this redstone lamp is a big solid block, and so you can power it. And because that one's powered, it can power the one below it. But this one is getting powered from the block next to it. So this block is now weakly powered. So it doesn't transmit power to other blocks, this lower redstone lamp here. So because of that, the redstone lamp on the bottom doesn't get anything. So what we could do is strongly power it by doing this. And now this redstone lamp still isn't strongly powered because of the way this works. But one of the other things you'll notice is if I break this lamp is still powered. And the reason for that is that the block under this redstone dust is strongly powered, and this lamp is weakly powered. So that's a lot to grasp, so we'll be going over it more and more, because But it is really, really important to being able to make redstone stuff so that you can understand why redstone can travel up and down and what you can do to make power go through blocks. And you can save yourself a little bit of redstone, but also it lets you make your contraptions a lot smaller. So now, let's go over to another explanation of this. So if you notice right now, this lever turns on this redstone dust, but it does nothing. How do you think we could power this lamp?
Well, the glass must be getting in the way, right?
So the glass isn't in the way, but the glass here is technically like air.
Right.
So it's just a block that just can't really interact with redstone.
Right.
But this is a solid block now. It can.
Right. Now, would there be any way to power that block with the glass beneath it?
So, not with this configuration.
Gotcha.
So with this glass. So something you could do is put a lamp here, and so now it has a solid block, and now it powers both. But basically, having that glass block is just like having air here. There's no connection. There's no connection to be made.
Right.
So same thing with repeaters. Repeaters shove their power into this block, but that glass block is air, so there's basically nothing there. And so you can see there's no difference whether or not the glass block is there. As soon as we put a solid block, it turns on.
Gotcha.
So the other interesting thing is that repeaters and dust can actually get powered by strongly powered blocks. So we'll turn this lever on. And now this lever is getting an input to turn on, and it's strongly powering this quartz block here. So if you notice, this block cannot detect an input. Even though this block here is technically weakly powered, because if you put a lamp here, it would light up, it's weak. So this repeater cannot read it as an input.
I see.
However, if we move this repeater to be reading its input from the solid and strongly powered block, it turns on.
Okay, so the repeaters can't feed off of a weakly powered block. It's got to be strongly powered.
Yes. Okay. And so in the same way, if we had a bunch here, so now this block that I'm standing on isn't powered at all by redstone, and it doesn't read anything, just like how if it was here, it still doesn't read anything.
Makes sense.
And redstone dust works in the same way, so you can see how this redstone dust is on. Now,
does the redstone dust, does that look like a Space Invader purposefully, or is that just a coincidence? Because it's bringing me back to the Atari 2600
That's a coincidence, and you can actually change that with texture packs, which you know is you have to pay for on console. So, haha, texture packs are free on PC.
Really?
Yes.
I had to pay like $5 to be Yoda in game, and for my Simpsons, texture packs, you guys are lucky.
We are. It's a very nice version of the game. So the kind of weird thing here is redstone dust, when it's just a little dot like that, strongly powers in all directions. So
I just want to shoot it. I'll stop.
It strongly powers in both directions. So that's kind of weird. And if you notice, if I break these, they turn off. So you can very clearly tell that these blocks are being strongly powered and that the redstone dust is doing it. And if you notice, as soon as I direct the redstone, these turn off. So that dot is technically strongly powering all blocks in all four directions.
Oh, wow.
So to illustrate this even more, I can go like this, and every single one of these, and you'll notice, first of all, that if I break this redstone dust, nothing's powering, right? But as soon as I put that dust in the middle, everything lights up. So 1 dot of redstone dust strongly powers everything. But as soon as you direct it, now look, it's pointing into this block and these blocks over here. So these are powered and these are powered, but the ones on the sides aren't.
Gotcha. Okay, so it all travels in one direction.
Yes,
Okay.
and the final interesting thing is how it can travel downwards and upwards through blocks. And this isn't totally related to strong and weak power, but it is knowing strong and weak power helps understand why it happens.